Hi, this is Alcan. Welcome back to my channel. Uh, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but once again, Legacy Transit is in the news for all the wrong reasons. Well, picked up the day news today, and about page 7, I found this interesting article. See what it says? JZ cars get bad rap for breakdowns. It's not the R32s that are having the problem. It's or the R42s. It's the newer version of these the smart cars with the 179s. They're breaking down frequently. There's 112 on the property right now, as they would call it. They're not doing so great. You know, these cars are built by Bombardier. They're bombing right now. Well, hey, Ariana. Now, what happened was prior to Superstorm Sandy in 2010, with these draconian uh, transit cuts by Jay Walden. One thing they did, they shuffled equipment and they got rid of the remaining 300 fleet of the A trains R44s from St. Louis Car Company. They were a flop. Um, One is in the Trans Museum, and one is now was rebuilt and sent over to Staten Island Railway. The rest were let to rot in the yards. First we thought they were going to fix them, but then Superstorm Sandy comes in, wrecks the cars, and now they swing with the fishes. So what happened was the governor made this announcement: all 300 cars are coming to replace those cars, and they'll be built partly in Canada, the rest here in New York, and it's supposed to be a win-win deal. Problem is, of the 300 cars, there's 112 on the property. I operated one of these 179s, and sorry, I didn't like the controller. The computer was harder to figure out. Oh, and get this, the doors are slower than the ones R160s. And this is the first time I operated. I came in 14 minutes late. Normally, I'm not that late with a 160. This thing, sheesh. Uh, didn't like it. Doors are slow. I made up time with a 32 that came in afterwards, but forget it. First and last, I think the sucker gave me a tennis elbow. So glad now I'm operating that sucker again. Whew. You couldn't pay me to operate it. Well, anyway, the breakdowns are so bad. In fact, uh, uh, these barriers in between cars, they said they tightened the bolt so hard they're making holes in the cars. It's just a whole array of problems with this thing. And I know Andy Bradford is probably right now and he's going to be reading these people the riot act if they don't fix this problem. Because he did that with the people with the CBTC on the flushing line, saying, you had this thing for 8 years, and enough is enough. And he did read on the riot act. So we have to see what happens afterwards. But it's just another example of problems this agency had with their subway fleet since the NTA took over. The R44s were a fiasco. Um, Plus the 42s with the 44s from St. Louis, they were weak. They easily get damaged in subway accidents. The 46, even though they had problems, they were built by Pullman. They were much stronger car because we have seen a couple accidents involving these trains. It built tough as nails. They don't break apart that easily. I mean, they had collisions, they smack into walls, they derail, but they stay almost intact. Then, of course, you got the 62s. We saw how well they did on the 14th Street derailment. That's why the 143s and the 160s are built tougher than the tail law requirements because these trains got to survive an accident and they got to last 30 years or more, 40 years or whatever. And having the 179s falling apart already, that's quite amazing. Oh, and the R68s also had their fair share of problems when they got built by Onstone. So that's why the remaining 200 fleet is Kawasaki 68s. That so history repeated itself. When St. Louis didn't deliver, Pullman did. So Kawasaki did what Onstone couldn't do at the time. But then Onstone and Kawasaki and Siemens got together and they did the 160s. And it's not too bad. So 179s. By the way, this is not the first time Bombardier or whatever the heck they call themselves, built Soviet cartridge system. They built the 62As for the IRT. So, what I have to say is, they better get their act together or else. And I guess they know what or else means. Because the next time there's Soviet contracts coming out for building cars, they might be saying, bye-bye. We'll go with someone else. Okay, so this is Al Can saying so long for now, and don't forget to stop. Alright, take care, bye. Love these photos, huh?